You taste sand and propellant. Your plate carrier is soaked in someone else's blood. Night vision is still down as you stack outside the target compound in Yemen at 0347 local. Suppressed gunfire cracks behind you. The exfil window is collapsing. You breathe steady through your mouth, tasting copper and dust, and wait for the next order that may never come. This is not the beginning. The beginning was years earlier. Phase 1. The entry. You arrive at Dam Neck Annex in Virginia Beach with a duffel bag and a ranger tab that suddenly feels meaningless. They issue you nothing but a number. No rank displayed. No last name used. The instructors look through you like you are already a ghost. The first weeks are cold concrete floors at 0500, water at 52 degrees Fahrenheit in the pool, and evolutions that break bodies without apology. You vomit from exhaustion at 0200 during a surf passage and keep moving because stopping is not an option. Most men quit. You do not. You learn to sleep in 45-minute increments between drills. You learn that your previous life in the 75th is considered soft tier. You are nameless, replaceable, and always watched. You pass selection. They shake your hand once, then the file on your old identity begins to disappear. Phase 2, the ascent. The first year you carry ammo and provide security on target. You watch the senior operators move like they were born to the dark. You replicate every motion. After 14 months you earn your first real slot on an assault element. Responsibility increases without ceremony. You brief a compound layout to the team at 0200. You make the first entry call on a Somali target 6 months later. The promotion to E6 is procedural. Paperwork appears, signed in a windowless room. Your pay increases by $812 a month. You sign more NDAs than you can count. By year 4 you are leading a small element. You authorize shots on moving targets in Helmand at 400 meters at night. You sign off on after-action reports that omit the bodies left in the courtyard. Moral lines blur gradually. First, it is acceptable collateral because the intel was 70% certain. Then it is acceptable because command needs the objective cleared before dawn. You stop counting the compromises. Each one is simply the next step. You deploy 280 days a year. Your body accumulates stress fractures, a torn rotator cuff rebuilt in Germany, and scar tissue across your left thigh from a through-and-through that never made the news. Phase 3, the system. You learn the unspoken rules quickly. Never put anything sensitive on unclassified systems. Never discuss operations outside the vault. Creative compliance becomes your daily language. You route sensitive source reports through back channels so JSOC can maintain distance if things go public. Temperatures in the ready room stay at 68 degrees Fahrenheit regardless of season. Missions are planned for 18-hour windows. Exfil is timed to the minute. The bureaucracy back home demands 47 slide PowerPoint packages for every kinetic strike. Yet the same desk officers will question your rules of engagement decisions while drinking coffee in air-conditioned offices 7,000 miles away. You rotate through 6 different cover identities in 3 years. New passports, new legends, new ghosts. You speak enough Pashto, Arabic, and Somali to pass basic checkpoints. The money is steady, base pay plus hazardous duty, family separation, and special duty pay totaling around $138,000 a year after taxes, but it feels irrelevant when you are bleeding in a Black Hawk at 300 feet. The system does not reward heroism. It rewards continuity. You become very good at continuity. Phase 4, the erosion. Your wife stops asking where you were for the last 87 days. Conversations at home become short and careful. You cannot tell her about the village in Yemen or the boats off Puntland. She learns to read the new scars instead. Your daughter turns 8 without you present. You call on encrypted lines at odd hours and hear the distance in her voice. Friends from your old battalion reach out less. They sense you have gone somewhere they cannot follow. You stop making new civilian friends entirely. Inside the unit, relationships are professional. You trust your teammates with your life but never fully with your thoughts. Isolation settles in layers. You sit alone in barracks rooms across 3 continents watching the same desert footage on repeat. Your mind grows quiet except for the mission voice. The man who enlisted at 19 no longer exists. In his place is a calibrated instrument that feels nothing when it should and too much when the lights are out at 0300. Phase 5, the shattering. It happens on a routine night in eastern Yemen. Intel was wrong. Civilians were moved into position as shields. Your team is split. 2 operators are down behind a low wall. Hostiles reinforce from the east. Command requests confirmation on rules of engagement while the building burns. You glass the target through green haze, an armed male moving toward the remaining hostages. Your finger rests on the trigger at 11 pounds of pressure. 1 shot ends the immediate threat. It also guarantees helmet cam footage will eventually leak. Political blowback will be severe. Abort the shot and you lose more of your team. You take the shot. The suppressor coughs once. The night swallows the consequences. In the exfil bird, as rotors beat the dark air and morphine drips into a wounded teammate, the final illusion breaks. There is no noble fight. There is only the machine that requires bodies at the tip of the spear and discards them when optics shift. You have become exactly what the system needed, efficient, deniable, and increasingly hollow. The realization is not dramatic. It arrives cold and permanent at 35,000 feet over the Arabian Sea. Phase 6, the cycle. 17 years after selection you retire on a quiet Tuesday morning. No ceremony. A short handshake in the squadron-ready room. You turn in your issued gear, sign the final stack of documents, and walk out with a pension that begins at 38. The unit thanks you in classified language and immediately begins the process of replacing you. Another ranger with sharp eyes and fewer scars enters selection the same month. You move to a small house in Virginia. You try consulting work for a defense contractor. You attend therapy sessions where you say almost nothing. Some nights you wake at 0347 tasting sand that is not there. The system continues without pause. New operators stack on new compounds in new countries. New compromises are made. New ghosts are created. The spear tip remains sharp because men like you honed it until it cut them apart. You sit on the back porch at 0415 watching the sky lighten, a cold cup of coffee in your hands. Somewhere, another man is breathing steady through his mouth outside a target building, plate carrier heavy, night vision glowing green. He does not know how the story ends. You do. The cycle does not care. It only requires the next body willing to stand at the absolute edge and pull the trigger when the time comes. You exhale slowly. The sand is still in your lungs. It always will be.